What's up? What's up? What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Relevant Features Podcast. And today we have a special guest, man. Somebody that's doing a thing in the rental car service business, man, with Turo going crazy, man. Somebody that I looked up on social media. She got her own things going on and things that she's selling and promoting and putting out there for people to get to know. I want to introduce you guys to Mrs. Tania Gray.
Tania, I'm actually just recently married, so my last name is Dawkins now.
Exactly.
So.
I
Yeah.
went and I seen that too. That's what's like Dawkins, but I was okay, but I see Gray too. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's my maiden last name. It's all good. It's all
exactly.
good.
So I was going over what I see, but typically, you know, what I saw is Dawkins. So I wanted to respect that too. So it's changed. Okay. Yeah. I respect that.
So my last name is Dawkins, but look, the name changed, but the game didn't. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right? All that matters, right?
It, so.
Okay, excuse me, Miss Dawkins. No, I respect it. So tell the people a little bit about yourself and your backstory.
Okay. So my name is Tania Dawkins. I'm from New Jersey, born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey. I now reside in North Carolina. I've been here for about a year, almost a little bit over a year now. I started my entrepreneurship journey back in 2020. It's funny because I was just looking at my articles for my business because I went to open up a business account, and I noticed that I started my business on my grandmother's birthday. Like I didn't even notice the date. It was just I don't know. I remember sitting there and saying I wanted to do it, and I did it, and I didn't even know it was that exact day. So I don't know if that was a sign from my grandmother. Just letting her know that she's watching over me and things like that. So I've been in business now for 2 years. And what made me start my own business or get into entrepreneurship was basically the pandemic. I'm not even gonna lie. I was working for corporate America. And I recently just had my son. So he just turned 4 Sunday, August 28th. He was around, he wasn't even 1 yet, I don't think so, when the pandemic hit. So what happened was my job told me, listen, you're not able to work from home. So if you need to go because you don't have childcare, which was what my case was, like I didn't have childcare. So when the pandemic hit, they started sending people home, and things were shutting down left and right. So my son's daycare was one of those.
Right.
And the job that I was working at the time told me, if you need to go get a job and be here when you get back, I don't even think they're going to pay you out unemployment. I said, you're not going to pay out who unemployment? So I went, my unemployment got paid, and taking my unemployment money and basically just being on the internet, and I saw an opportunity that crossed my screen, and it kind of drew me to it. It was more so the financial services and things like that. Like I said, what kind of drew me to it was because we're not taught that, and I remember making mistakes at 18 with my own personal financial situation and not being told how to fix that or anything like that. So when this opportunity came across me, I said, why not? This is something that I could help not only myself, but at the same time help people of the age that I messed up my own financial situation to kind of prevent them from going through some of the things that I went through.
Right. That's what's up. And I'm sorry about, the pronunciation of your name. I thought it was Tanya. I didn't know it's Tania, right?
Listen, Tania, Tristan, let me tell you, every time I've been going through this I'm 31, so I'm gonna say 30 years of my life I've been going through this, because literally everybody looks at my name and they never pronounce it right, and they never will. I'm honestly came to that conclusion that they won't. And every time someone does pronounce it wrong, I blame my mom. I tell her every single time that it's your fault, because if you would have spelled it how you wanted to pronounce it, I would not have to go through this. So it's not for a while.
Right, I feel you. But just for, just to be respectful, I just want to say it the right way, because I Googled it and everything. And it said, I'm serious. It said, it said Tanya. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm good. I know her name. So when I get on here, I can say the right name. You know what I'm saying? I'll be straight. But I dropped the ball despite of that.
I've been going through all my life, especially growing up in a Latino neighborhood. They all Tanya, everything like that. So like I said, it's not your fault. It's my mom's. I blame her every single time.
For sure. So I know that, maybe a lot of people don't know that within your entrepreneurship, you have a Turo business.
Yes.
That you started. So how did you learn about Turo? How did you get involved with Turo? I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to even start Turo and I ain't know much about it. So yeah.
So Turo is something that recently just passed my my mind, or my entrepreneurship. It's something that just came across me just recently. I had a business partner who was doing it. She was doing it, and when I reached out to her about it, she was like, her words was just like, it's easy, but to me, I'm not the it's just easy, just do it type person. Like, I like to do my due diligence, I like to do my research. So she was giving me more so of her story, how she started out with 2 cars and things of that nature. And I kept saying I wanted to do it. I kept saying what I wanted to do it, but I only had 1 car at the time. So once I started doing my researches and seeing like, oh well, they offer insurance as well. So I don't have to keep the insurance that I have on my personal insurance. They offer insurance through the app as well. And more so doing a research of my area, because being in North Carolina, to me, I feel like is where I'm from in Jersey is not as fast paced as being up in North, right?
Right.
I felt like it wasn't going to rent in the country where I'm basically at. So I just kept doing my research on my area, being in different Turo groups on Facebook and things like that. I started to reach out and see different people who was in North Carolina, but they wasn't in my area. My area, I'm not going to say it's country, but it's not a known area. So parts of North Carolina that was known is more like Raleigh, which is next to the airport. Then you have Charlotte. Those are big name towns here in North Carolina. Right. So when I was doing my research, I kept saying, I need to put my car up in this area. I need to get it here. I need to get it here. I need to get it here, because I know it's going to book for sure here. I know it's going to book for sure here. But I was wrong. And for instance, those areas are hours away from me. Like Raleigh, the airport is like an hour away from me. Charlotte is about 3 hours away from me. I did have a family member that was in Raleigh, and I kept running across her like, hey girl, I just want to let me park my car in a visitor spot of your apartment building. And I'm gonna rent the car out, and all I need you to do is just give the person the keys, like when they come to rent it. And she's like, if that's all I have to do, that's fine. She's like, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not, doing it. And what I was gonna do was pick up the car after every trip, just go clean it and just leave it still parked there.
Right.
But what really allowed me to do Turo was when I bought my second car. I bought my husband's mom had a 2016 BMW that she thought she was co-signing for somebody. And this goes back to what I do as well. Co-signing, it sounds good. You want to help out somebody, but that's one thing you don't do. I don't care if it's your son. I don't care if it's your mom. Like, co-signing, I don't condone in it, right? So she was co-signing. She thought she was co-signing for one of her daughter's friends. But come to find out, she actually was the owner of the car. Like, they never used her as a co-signer. They actually ran her as the owner of the car. So what happened was, the girl was doing tickets or doing some crazy stuff with the car. They wound up taking the car from her, told it, and my mom-in-law now, they got the car out, but the car has just been sitting. It's been sitting for like a year or something like that. And when I saw it, I fell in love. Like, I need to get this car. Like, I need to get this off your hand. She doesn't have a driver's license. She's an older woman. She don't drive. She lives in New York, so they have mass transit. So, having a license up there to people is really not that serious. So she just was like, and then she didn't even know what to do with the car. Like I said, she thought she was just co-signing for somebody, and come to find out, the car was actually put in her name. So the car was sitting. When I saw it, I told my husband, like, I gotta get it. So I wound up taking over the loan and getting the car in my name and things like that. So that then allowed me to put my first car, which I bought in 2020, which was a Honda Accord, a 2020 Honda Accord, right? So I had the 2020 Honda Accord, and now I have the BMW 528, 2016. So I had to defer as to which car I was going to keep for personal, and which car I wanted to keep, to put on to run out.
Right.
So I came to the conclusion, let's do the 2020 Honda Accord. Why? Because it's more compact. It's good on gas. and it's a reliable car, right? Car lot, because you're a business owner and walk up the lot with paying nothing out of pocket for that car. Right. So
yeah, exactly.
Even if you have bad credit, you can have your personal credit could be bad, but now you have a business, go ahead and leverage that business credit as well. So there's ways, especially being a business owner, they look at you and they like, well, this is a business. You're not a single person. They'll throw money at you. Like being a business owner, you have a lot of leverage when it comes to capital, rather than a personal person. So being a business, you want to kind of just structure your business, right? Make sure you have everything in line. Go out, build that business credit so you can go out and get that car for literally.
Exactly. There you go. Okay. So far as like Turo and everything, right? What's the most, like, I know you recent into this thing. What's the most money that you've made, like, in Turo, like so far at this point, that you was like, man, I made that much? Like,
right. I didn't even notice. Like my 1099 from Turo it's gonna show a good, I want to say, like I said, it's only been 4 months. So I want to say about 4,000, 5,000 so far.
Wow. Within what span of time?
So I would say for April, May, June, where we at? July, August, September. What's that? 6 months, maybe?
Right.
5 months.
Okay.
So, and that's in my main bookings is only on the weekends. Like it only started with people booking literally Thursday to Sunday.
Right.
But I went in and I made some adjustments. I noticed that everybody was only booking 3 days. No, the minimum is 5 days now. You got to book the minimum 5 days.
Right.
Like 3 days it just wasn't paying out. So I was like, I changed it to the minimum of 5 days, and I may go in and now and change the minimum to a week. 7 days, just so I can gain the profit that I want and the income that I want as well.
Exactly.
So you can adjust it. I'm still learning as well, like I said, but you want to make it to where you're not always, not making the profit that you want as well.
Exactly. So what are some good like alternatives, like far as like, because I know they have their restrictions on what type of cars you can have on there. So far as what I know, so what particular cars do they allow to be on there? What are the restrictions of what the car cannot have to be on the actual site?
So for me, what I know, one main restriction is the car cannot be more than 12 years old. So if we're in 2022, the car has to be a 2010 or newer. So you can't go anything under 2010. So that I know for sure. So if you have like a 1999 Honda Accord in the backyard, like there's no way you're putting that on. So yeah, I know that 12 years or newer. That's a restriction. That's the only thing I've seen so far. That I believe that I could think of right now. Okay.
So what is a good way to prevent because I've heard certain bad things that could happen on rental, apps and stuff like that. So some people, do like stealing and take a car, you know what I'm saying, through these sites. Yes. So look, what is a good way to prevent that from happening?
So, like I said, being in all these Turo apps, Facebook groups and things like that, I've seen so many stories about cars. Oh, this person never came back. Oh, I reported it lost. Things like that, right? Just get your tracking device. Right. Don't get a visible tracking device. Don't get something that I've seen people use those air tags and put them on the keys. Like that don't make sense because now the person knows. First of all, if the person have an Apple phone is alerting them right then and there as soon as they get in the air tag and they're being tracked.
Right.
Not saying you're supposed to let the person know that you have a tracking device in the car in the app, like in your description, but you don't want to make it obvious. You don't want it to be somebody that knows how to deactivate tracking devices and go ahead and deactivate your device, right?
Right.
So just make sure it's hardwired to the car. Me, myself, I personally use LoJack, but they have OnStar. There's other different types of tracking devices out there, but just make sure that it's hardwired to the car.
Okay. So can you give our audience, some words of encouragement, like on starting a business like this?
I would just say like Nike, just do it, right? Because my thing is you're turning an asset, you're turning a liability into asset, right? Because your car it's a liability because you're sitting there. It's just all it's doing is taking you back and forth to work. You know, anything can happen. It's not making money, right? You're basically paying a car note on it every month, and it's not doing anything for you, but just getting you back and forth to work, right?
Right.
So why not turn that liability into an asset, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, just like Nike, I would just do it. Just start with what you have. Even if you know if you work from home, just go ahead and put it up there. If you know you're gonna be home from 9 to 5, rent it out during the weekdays, right? And so you can have the weekend to yourself. Or you can even shut it off in the app. If you know you have a doctor's appointment, you can kind of shut it off and just, block those days as well on the calendar.
Okay. So let the people know where they can find you, because as well as before we get out of here, let the people know about your book as well. Like, you gotta let them know about the book. What am I doing?
My ebook is out now, you guys. I have created a guide to mastering Turo. It's out right now. You can get it on my website. I still have it at the pre-order sale. The price will go up because today's price is not yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah.
You can find my website is www.taniadawkins.com. So that's www.taniadawkins.com.
Okay. And then also let them know the social media. You got to drop all of that too.
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at boss_credit101. You can follow me on Facebook at Dawkins Tania. So that's DAWKINS TANIA.
Okay. So thank you so much for being on the show, for giving your time and spending time with us and sharing the game that you gave with the audience. This wraps up the show. Thank everyone for tuning in. You can follow us on social media at Relevant Features Podcast, and as well as follow me at Tristan Heyward, and subscribe on YouTube. We come on every Tuesday. So check in with us, and we'll see you guys in the next one.